welcome back to our channel, the Karima Longas.
Hello.
Welcome to those who are new to our channel and just decided to drop in to hear about our immigration process, and those who have been following along with our journey, welcome back. Today's video is very important for those who are getting ready to enter into their immigration process. We just want to take some time out to share our story. Hopefully we'll be able to encourage you and give you some tips that will maybe help you along in your immigration process whenever you decide to start, or if you're about to start. Disclaimer, we are not lawyers, so this is just our story. It's based on what, options that you decide to go with. Not to say that your story is going to be exactly like ours. It just depends on, the different routes that, you decide to go to, and of course your country. There's a lot of factors that are taken into consideration. So definitely make sure you do your research and take it up with an actual lawyer if you decide indeed to do that. So our immigration process began around 2017, 2018. My husband, he wasn't my husband at the time, was trying to come over here, but unfortunately, time after time, just trying to come for a visit, it was literally like coming against a brick wall every single time. And as you know, it's very costly to have to go and pay for something that you don't even receive, because you're paying for a visa and you're hoping that you'll be able to go and make a visit, and it's not happening. So literally, I heard the Lord spoke to me. I think it was about the third or the fourth time that my husband was attempting to try to come over for a visit, and the Lord told me that he's gonna go for his interview at the embassy, but he was gonna get denied again. And if we were gonna be together, then I would have to go to Ghana and marry him. So what the Lord shared with me, I then shared it with my husband and told him, hey, prepare yourself on tomorrow. God already shared with me that you're gonna go, you're gonna get denied, and I'm gonna have to travel to Ghana to meet you, and we'll be able to marry. So needless to say, the next day I messaged him and I told him, yeah, you got denied, didn't you? And he said, yes, I got denied. And so immediately I began to start making preparations to go to Ghana and to get married. I was in Ghana. We decided that we were immediately going to look into our immigration process. We knew the earlier that we started, the better that it would be. So when I got back to the States, we immediately began to look for options that were available. I was told about Rapid Visa. I'm not for sure of their processes. If you've gone through Rapid Visa, drop in the comments how your experience was with them. I heard that they're really, really good with the immigration process, but I don't know step by step on how it is. But I know since we've struggled so much with our journey prior with trying to get him to come over here for just a visit, we both decided on that we were going to take a route of getting a lawyer. So one thing I can't stress enough is please do your due diligence in researching for a lawyer. I cannot stress that enough. If you don't take anything else from this video, please do your proper research in searching for a lawyer. You want a lawyer who is going to be willing to fight for you. if they need to step in the ringer and to do that. And that's one thing that I wish that we would have done. Now, we've read about our reviews and everything in pertaining to like the lawyer that we chose to go with. However, we chose to ignore like maybe the one negative comment that was on there. It's like, okay, it's just only one negative comment. You don't think that it's gonna happen to you, but unfortunately it did. So be prepared to pay lots of fees, because if you choose not to go about seeking a lawyer, it's still gonna be much for the fees, but since you're paying someone to legally fight for you, we're looking at like thousands of dollars up front. And so that's something that you need to be aware of. There's a lot of fees. There's a lot to invest. Look at it as an investment. You are investing into what you are trying to build with your spouse. So there are different options that are available. There's the K1 visa. Where if you're not married, you know, you'll decide to come to the United States, and then you have a specific time frame to get married within that time. But for us, we were already legally married. I got legally married in Ghana, so we went with the IR1, CR1. Visa, spousal family visa. So when he comes over here, he will be able to legally work and to live here. If you do go about the K1 visa, do realize that you are going to have to go through another process for the adjustment of status. So if you do the spousal IR1, CR1 visa, you're getting all that in one. So definitely take in your options in regards to that. Also, we have gone through so much with this immigration process. I say it was a triple whammy. I think that's what I like to call it, because we were going through things with our lawyers, our paperwork somehow got misplaced. Communication wasn't coming across very, very well. We got delayed for months before we were, you know, even off the ground per se with our immigration process, because we submitted our information maybe about a month after we married. So around September of 2018, and our process didn't start until January of 2019. So you can count those days. There were a lot of immigration changes that took place. So processing times that were normally 7 to 9 months instantly grew from 12 months to 16 months. So can you imagine like the frustration of, you know, going through just the paperwork process, because that's the very beginning of the process, is you know, submit the paperwork to USCIS. It literally took January to 2019 to January of 2020 for them to process our paperwork within itself. And then we know that COVID took place. So that's whammy number 3. So we had 1, our not so good lawyers. Number 2, immigration law changes. And number 3, COVID hits. So it's like a worst case scenario of all things that could take place. That literally was happening. So we got to the state around February, and it doesn't take long when it gets to the state portion. If it doesn't leave within 30 days, you could actually contact them in regards to getting your paperwork, you know, moved right along. But it didn't stay at the state for very long. It stayed less than 30 days, and then it was moved to the NVBC for them to do their paperwork process. So if you're finding yourself having to repeat a lot of information, to send in a whole lot of information. That is normal. Government wants to know literally everything pertaining to your life. You're submitting literally your whole life before, you know, the government. They want to know that you can be able to take care of whoever you are deciding to bring over. They want to, you know, check your income, see where you worked. I mean, marriage, divorce. You have to submit, you know, these paperworks sometimes several times. And you're like, I've already submitted this. Okay, well, they're asking for it again. It's like every different place or every different stage that you move to, it's like you're sending some of the same information multiple times. So the NBC, that was the place where our paperwork lasted the longest. And honestly, it was because the embassy was shut down due to COVID. And so they couldn't send over like the paperwork, even though it was ready, it was already processed and we had already been approved. But because, COVID was going on, nothing was moving. So it was pretty much, you're stuck. You're completely stuck until the embassy decides to reopen. But at that time, they were only processing those that were emergency. Have to be like of significance. So I know that a lot of people would say, hey, get pregnant. It makes your process go along a whole lot faster. That's not guaranteed. So not to say that that has never happened before, but don't go with the whole process as, okay, I'm gonna get pregnant, so this is gonna move my timeline along a lot faster. I personally don't know any couple who has done the process, got pregnant, and their spouse made it over in time for the baby before the baby was delivered. A lot of it was after. Yeah, a lot of it was after the baby was born. So do keep that in mind. Not to say that it never has happened. I just don't personally know of anyone. But speaking of pregnancy, I'm really grateful to have my husband here through that process. I know specifically for me, I didn't want to have my spouse thousands of miles away if I did get pregnant, which I'm so grateful that I had that mindset of, because I wouldn't have had it literally any other way. So our paperwork stayed at NBC from March of 2020 all the way to December of 2021.